How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, get that imagination going wild, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Harry Beckhoff. If you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful artist, an illustrator. He worked for Collier's and a bunch of advertising illustration in the golden age of illustration, and I really love his stuff. I feel like there's kind of a Leyendecker, Rockwell, but a little more Alphonse Mucha to his work, and he's just got some really unique and beautiful stylings. I really like this one because it almost feels like an animation cell type sketch in there. He did this cool thing though that a lot of people talk about when they talk about Harry's work, and that was that he started out with thumbnails, and then instead of what a lot of people do, which is work big and then go small, he started small and blew them up and then went from there. And I think that's a really interesting design technique that he worked with. So definitely check out more stuff from him. I will throw a link in the description below. I think all of his work is just gorgeous, and really kind of it captures the feeling of the time, but I think he has a more individual style than some of the other illustrators at the same time, where he has almost a sense of comic bookness to his high level of art, which I think is really like you could tell, like just the style choices here are a little more caricature and a little more cartoony, but still holding to, I mean, you look at the background and everything, and that's a lot of proportion and perspective, and everything's really well rendered out, but there's just this light feel of his own style that really bleeds through. But I did want to share a quote with you guys. Sorry about that. From Illustration Art Blog, and they were talking about Harry Beckhoff. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything in his own words here, and he said, Beckhoff understood that design comes first, everything else flows from that. Now, I'm not sure that I 100% agree with that quote, but I think it's important as a creative person to figure out what the most important element is to you. Maybe it's design, maybe it's storytelling, maybe it's the way that you render things. Whatever it is that's the most important thing to you about the art that you're working on, have everything else flow through that. And again, design for Harry was his main focus, and then everything flowing through that, which you can see is really relevant in all of his work. Everything seems to work really well together, and I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and really difficult to get all of these different characters, working together, but really to fit into this design shape as well. And you can see that evident throughout all of his work. He's got a really good kind of silhouette throughout the whole composition. I think that's a very unique thing in his work as well. But again, I don't know that design, for me personally, is the key element. I don't know 100% yet what I would say is the number one. I have a couple that I would work with, but I think the goal is to try and find what it is that you're really passionate about, and make that your focal point within the medium that you're working in. So if you're a sculptor and you really want to get story across, then you're going to work on those expressions and the posing of your characters, really get that story and that feeling across, rather than the anatomy or something. Sometimes you have to find where you're going to push and what's going to be the focus for each and every project. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Jon Rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, is we give ourselves 48 frames. It's 2 seconds of animation. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. But most of all, the goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you guys, and make you feel like you have another buddy out there in the art world, going through each and every day, taking another step of our journey together to mastering whatever medium it is that you guys are passionate about. So that being said, let's go ahead and play around here. So I was thinking for today, I haven't really done a swim cycle in a while, so I thought that would be kind of fun, and maybe kind of play around with more of a dog paddle style swim cycle too, so we'll see. But that's kind of the idea that I was thinking for today, do something a little bit different. So let's get that initial starting pose going here. And I want to do that storytelling pose if we can. Bring that over, bring that back, rotate those feet over. Let's get that head rotated down here. And let's do a little bit in the belly there. And a little bit up on the chest there. So that way we can get the neck up a little bit more. Maybe we'll do a little bit less here. So I'd like it to flow a little better. It feels a little too broken up, so let's see. Let's use them all as one. I was going to separate them, but I think it's just not a very good flowing spine. So let's use it. See, like right here we have a nice line throughout the spine. We want to kind of preserve that as much as we can. So let's see what we can do. That's a little bit better. I'm a little worried about the head since we don't really have a neck. Do we have a neck? Okay, good. Alright, well that will allow us to do more of what we want here. And let's do a little bit less in the spine as well. And bring it back here. And let's look at the arms. Let's bring them back. There. And bring that one forward here. And rotate it that way. And bring that hand back there. Bring that back here. Let's do a little bit of rotate Z out. Bring that back a little bit more. Okay, yeah, let's look at the hands here. Let's kind of cup them a little bit. Curl it here. Look at the pinky. Lean it. Oh, wrong hand there. What am I doing? There we go. Lean it in. Oh. It's kind of an interesting control. I haven't really seen that scrunch. I'll bring that in there a little bit just to kind of cup it a little bit more. And pull that back a little bit. And let's look at this finger here. Let's spread it there. Twist it a little bit. Grab this one. I want to try and cup it because if you're swimming, you kind of scoop your hands a little bit to get more water pushing through there. Let's go this finger. Let me grab it here. There we go. And we'll pull this one out a little bit more. And this one, we'll go ahead and bend it in a little bit more. Do we not get any thumb controllers here? Here we go. Bring the thumb in. Thumb curl. And let's zero that out. Okay, so start with something like that. And then we'll look at the other hand. We'll go ahead and save our file real quick here. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. We'll bring that in. I had to think there which one we were using. Been a little scrunch them up just because I like that controller. We'll bring them in a little bit. those two. Pull them back a little bit. In. And start grouping it a little bit more. Spread that inward. And spread that in a little bit more here. And twist it a little bit. Twist it there. And the thumb. Oh, see, there's a thumb. This one you can use the thumb on. But on this one, there's no controllers for the thumb. That's interesting. Either way, we'll go ahead and bring it down, down, spread it over, and twist it a little bit. And let's see the orbit. Do there. No, we don't want to lengthen it. Alright. And then can we drop the shoulders a little bit? Let's see. Translate it back there. And this one we'll want to push it forward a little bit more. And then I think we'll bend that elbow a little bit more. And then let's look at the feet here. Let's do one a little bit back here, and then there's a toe wiggle. Let's drag that toe here and drag that toe wiggle a little there. We'll do a little up and down on those feet here. But let's get started. I think I'm going to tilt the head down a little bit more. Still want it to feel like it's some upward looking. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and hide our grid here. Go ahead and save our file one more time. We'll set our frame range from 0 to 48, which we might tweak a little bit, but I think that'll probably be about right here. And we'll go through and set our first key at 0. Delete that and delete that, and that hopefully won't do anything. And let's get started. Okay. So I know we're going to want to do some up and down, so we'll go ahead and push the hips down, up, and down, up, and down, up, and down, and back again. Let's see that. Alright, and let's look at Window Animation Editor's Graph Editor, and our Translate Y, let's even it out a little bit more. See that now? Need more down. Alright, and let's look at the feet. And we'll go up there, down there, up there, down there, up there, down there, up there, and back again. Let's see. Alright, and let's look here. This one I'm going to flip so it goes down instead of up. So we alternate. Let's see. And then we'll push these forward 3 frames. Let's see. And then let's exaggerate this one a little bit more. And then I need another one at 45. Bring that up. This one, we need to key that again. Bring that down. And let's see here. There's too much up on this one. So maybe we'll scale it back down a little bit. too much, but the idea is alright. So we'll scale it back. We'll just do a little bit in there. Let's see that now. Alright, and let's go to this one. And we'll go out there, in here, out there, in here, out there, in here, out, and then back. Let's see now. Okay, too much, so we'll scale it back. Let's look at it now. Okay, let's do a little rotate here as well. Rotate forward and back there. And we might delay this as well. We'll see. Okay. It's alright, but I think we just need to do more up and down overall. Just exaggerate that on both feet. Let's do a little bit of rotate here as well. So this one will be rotating out there, in, out, in, out, in, out again, and back again. Let's see. Alright, and then we'll crank up the translate Y's a little bit more on both of them here. So we'll grab, even it out a little bit more there as well. We'll just crank it up. Let's see. Alright, and let's look at the rotate X. Let's exaggerate that on this foot a little bit more. Okay, and let's do a little bit of toe as well. So we'll push the toe wiggle forward here, and back there, forward here. And I might push this back to starting at 3 instead of at 6, but we'll see. And back to where we were. Too much forward and not enough back. So let's just take it universally and push it more like that. Let's see. Okay, and we'll look at the other side here. And we'll go toe wiggle back, and forward, and back, forward, back, and forward, back again, and back to where we started. Alright, those feet are starting to work. Okay. I'm just trying to make those a little bit better. And I think we need to exaggerate this one now a little bit more on the backs. Especially compared to that other one, it feels a little... Okay, so let's go ahead and save that, and let's get back in here. Let's look here, and we'll do a little bit of, probably, what would that be, rotate Y here to favor that one. Let's just start at the beginning. Favor that arm there. We need to switch to the other one, then back again. This one, and back again. Let's see. Okay, it's starting to work. Let's look at the other arm here now. I'm at 12. We'll want it to go this way. Bring that back. So we're going to need to flip the hand, I think. Yeah, okay. That's alright. We'll get there. Bring it back here. Out. And the 36. Bring it forward. Just want it to go over. Is this right? Yeah, I think we're going the wrong way here. What are we doing here? Come on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that going the wrong way. It's supposed to be going up and over. For some reason, I inverted that. Being ridiculous here, I guess. I think it's because I did the hand the other way. Bring that back down there. Up there. And back there. There we go. For some reason I had that inverted. I don't know why. Now I gotta flip the hand though. Bring that. Let's see it now. Then I need to do that a little bit better here. Go out a little bit here. Go out a little bit there. Out a little bit there. And out a bit here. Because we can't just revert back to the original pose that we had there. We have to keep it looping. If we did that, we'd reverse cycle back into it. So we don't want to do that. So we just want to try and match that up as best as we can. Okay. And let's look at some rotate Z here. So we'll go that way. swaying so much. A little more focused, but still getting that twist in there. So let's clean this all up, and then we'll get the offsets working a little better. Okay, so that feels fine there. This needs to be... It's fine here. It's just these ones for some reason, I guess. So I want to keep that better here. That works better, but it's not really right. So let's just get rid of the rotate Y. Let's see. And then I guess we could, we should be able to put a little bit of that in there. I wonder what's going on. Alright. So let's zero it out here. And we'll put a little bit that way. And a little bit that way. A little bit that way. A little bit that way. And back again. Let's see. So I want to be able to do a little bit of that. It still feels like it's just too much. Okay, so let's figure out why that is. Alright, and let's go back in the chest and maybe we'll figure it out here. That feels okay. So maybe it's just to rotate Z's then. I wonder if I switch the rotate Z and the rotate Y here. So I did rotate Y there, and zeroed out. And then do my rotate Z on the other ones there. So here we start off with rotate Y at 0. Just gotta figure out why that's not working the right way. So let's see. Alright, and then I can do rotate Z here. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Just switch our rotate Ys and our rotate Zs from the chest and the hips. Invert them. Okay, and this way I should be able to do some rotate Y here. There. And back again. There we go. That's better. Okay, and now let's clean that stuff up. And bring that over. Alright. Something still feels off here. What is it? So rotate Z's too much here. Is that it? There we go. It feels a little better. look at the rotate Y here, and we got some slow in and slow out going, and I pretty much want that to be constant, so I'm gonna just make it so that do that, because we were getting a little bit of slow in and slow out on those arms, which I don't really want. I just want it to be a good amount going through all the way. And let's look at the other arm as well. And let's do a similar thing here, because right now we've got, if we take a closer look right here, see how it doesn't go from straight point A to point B? That's gonna slow us out of that position and then go faster into it. And we don't really want that in a cycle, because then it's gonna kind of lose momentum throughout. And if it's a cycle, we want it to feel fairly consistent throughout. So we're gonna just balance that out a little bit better. And that way the arm should do just about the same amount of movement throughout. Do think I want to tweak the rotate Z a little bit. Sorry, not the shoulder. Upper arm here. Drag that hand there. Actually, let's straighten it out on this one. And we'll drag it here. We'll straighten it out there. Drag it here, and then put it back. Let's see how that feels. Let's look at this one, and again we'll drag it back here a little bit more, we'll straighten it out, drag it back here a little bit more, we'll straighten it out, and drag it. Shoot that straight a little bit, just to loosen up that other arm there a little bit more. And again, we'll just exaggerate this one a little bit more throughout as well. Okay, and let's look at the wrist. So let's go ahead and drag that wrist and Z back here. Could probably tone that down a little bit more. Don't need as much break in there. And let's look at this one. And then we'll go back there. Drag it back there. Go forward there. translate Z with these feet. And more up and down again. We'll take the translate Y's on both of them. I'll crank them up a little bit more. Let's see. And a little more rotate X as well. This one, I'm going to exaggerate these guys a little bit more. And probably still crank up a little bit more on the feet as well. This other hand a little bit more. Just do some more rotate Z back here. And we'll do a little bit of back and forth in the shoulder. Back, and then back again. Okay, and let's look at this shoulder. We'll do a little bit of forward there, and back there, forward there, and back again. And let's look here. Do we have anything with the face? Are there any expression controllers or anything? No? Alright, so let's do a little bit of rotate X here. Just go back and forth, and back and forth, back and forth, back, and again, and let's clean that up. Do less of that as well, and then we'll offset it with the chest so we get some movement in there as well, so it doesn't feel as flat. So we got some twist, but you don't really have any compression really. And this one I do like to try and keep fairly balanced, not do too much variation in there. Let's go down here, back there, down here, back there, down here, back there, down here, there again. Okay, and let's clean that up. Minimize it as well, balance it out. Okay, let's see that now. There we go. Now we get a little more movement throughout that middle section here. And I think we could do a little bit in the booty as well. So we could go at 3, we can rotate it back, 9 go forward, 8 and 15 go back, 21 go forward, 27 go back, 33 go forward, go back, forward, and then back again. Let's see that now. Alright, let's tone that down a little bit more. it's looser, which is good. Let's see. And let's look here. Let's do a little bit of rotate Z there. And that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, over here, back, and back again. Let's see. Alright, now let's clean that up a little bit more as well. Come on. Go on. Go play. Go boy. Okay. And then back again. And let's tone it down even more. It's just too crazy, too chaotic. Okay. Alright, now lastly I want to do a little bit in the head as well. Neck, so let's see. Let's just do those turns. So the head would be this way. Whoa, okay, maybe not. Let's look at the neck here. Or not. Maybe we can't do that. Let's see. No, I can't get it there. If I just let's go back here. Just kind of a broken controller there. So rotate Y doesn't even work. Okay. And I guess we could do a little bit of rotate Z just so we can get some movement in there. It's unfortunate. I guess we could just do some rotate X. Not exactly what I wanted, but that's fine. We'll go just a little bit of back and forth here. So at least there's some movement in the head. And then I want to do some stuff on the fingers, and I think that'll be good. So let's go ahead and we're gonna be able to. Who knows? Evidently, Zeke wants to say hi. So there you go. And then we'll go ahead and grab all the bends. We'll bring them in like that there. We'll drag them out there. Go in here. Drag them back there. And go back to where we were again. Okay, and then we'll take all of the 2s and 3s. So the 2s and 3s, or is it the 1s? 1s are the bases, yeah. So 2s and 3s, it depends. Some rigs are different, where 1 might be the bottom of the knuckle, or it might be the tip of the finger, you always got to check here. So we're going to grab all the 2s and 3s and delay them a frame, and then we're going to grab all of the 3s and delay them a frame as well. And then we'll take everything on the index and we'll push it forward a frame. Everything on the pinky, and we'll delay it a frame as well, so that way we'll get a little bit of successive movement throughout that hand. And let's see it again. Okay. Yeah, that works. And let's look at the other hand here. We'll grab all of these guys, and then let's look at 6 here. We want to kind of straighten everything out a little bit. And we'll go to 18. And we'll curl it all in. We'll straighten it all out again, curl it all in, and then go back to where we were before. So let's see. And we gotta be careful here, because I think we didn't loop that very well. And the wrist as well. No, that's okay. And let's look at the thumb, see if we can do something with the thumb here. And on this one we had to do the thumb here, the other one we had the thumb controller. So let's look at 12 there. Let's have the thumb drag this way, and then at 24 we'll have the thumb go out, in, and out again. And then another thing that I'm noticing now, from this angle at least, we have to adjust our rotate Z here so that we don't intersect with the thigh. And same with this one here. No, I guess that one's a little better. Okay, and let's look at the thumb. Here we want to go 12. We'll go out a little bit. Actually, let's do the same controller here. Thumb spread out a little. And that in. And out a little bit more. And in a little bit. And let's see what now. I do feel like the head still needs some extra movement. It just feels so stiff. So let's see if we can amp it up a little bit more. Maybe we'll invert it. That's too much though. So let's see. Is there some rotate X we can do on the actual head itself? See, that controller just doesn't seem to want to work with me. Okay. So let's just see what we can get with this one controller that we have. There we go. Something at least. Because the rotate Y still doesn't work, right? Yep, nothing. And rotate Z just shifts the head. guess we could do maybe a little bit of that, just a teeny weeny bit side to side, just to give us some shape, change of shape a little bit, and some movement back there. But I only want a little bit because it doesn't really work the way that I would say it normally should. Because normally rotate on the neck would be up and down would be like your X, Y would be your side to side, and Z would be kind of a tilt. And this one's doing like a sway on the neck, which is kind of funky. That's okay, but I just gotta figure out what we can use and how I can work with that. That's part of the fun challenge of getting a different rig to play with every day. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at that and see if that gives us something with the head a little bit. Too much still. Like I said, I just want to hint to that. Just to loosen up the movement on the head a little bit more. Okay, and just seeing if there's by any chance an extra hidden facial controller, but it doesn't appear that there is, so go ahead and turn that off. Let's go ahead and drop that down a little bit further. Let's go ahead and create a polygon primitives cube here, just so we can get a different background color. Assign a new material to it. Let's put a Lambert on there. Change the color here. We'll put a... Man, it needs to be a little more blue than that. There we go. It's an okay blue. Still, go ahead and push that down further. And scale that up. Scale it over that way. Bring it back a little bit. Assign a new material to the bottom. Put another Lambert on there. Pick a color. Go with the original that we had, but turn it to a sand or a brownish color. So we're working in kind of the same spectrum of color. And let's go ahead and we'll watch that and see if there's anything else we want to tweak with that. Well, we know we gotta push that over there. I do feel like the legs still need to kick more. So let's go ahead and kick up the translate Y on both of them a little bit more. Now we'll look at them one by one here. These need to be higher. Okay, and let's look at this one. And these need to be higher. Let's look between that and that, about the same height there. And let's do a little more rotate X here as well. Make sure we grab this guy. Slap those feet a little bit more. And let's get these ones. And we want to pull that back a little bit more. Okay. That feels a little more like kicking swimming steps. Alright, well we can definitely play around with this for another hour or so, but I think we got something that works. again, would love to be able to do some more stuff with that head, but I think we made it work with what controllers we have. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful artwork of Harry Beckhoff. And Illustration Art Blog said about him that Beckhoff understood that design comes first and everything else flows from that. And I think that's a great quote. So find whatever it is that you think is your primary concern or your primary thing that you want to tell or share with the world, and make that your focus. Whatever it might be, maybe it's storytelling, maybe it's the art itself, just the visual look or style. Maybe it's you want to convey humor, or you want to convey political stuff, or whatever it is that's your message that you want to convey. Put that as your focus of your work, and have all of the things that you do help push that and exaggerate that. In Beckhoff's case, it was design, and you can see that in all of his beautiful advertising work, and have everything else flow from that and through that and to that. And that being said, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing and wonderful. If you're watching this, remember you are the creative future. And so I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're taking another step in your journey each and every day. And that being said, we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.